base defense with 3 linebackers rather than 5 defensive backs, particularly to start this game.
Iowa won the toss, deferred to the second half. Means we'll see Aiden Childs and this Michigan State offense out of a touchback to start this game. And for the transfer from Oregon State, he leads a unit that certainly has options on the outside. It's going to start up front for this too.
Yeah, they've got to block better. They've got to have some success rushing. The last 2 losses to Ohio State and Oregon, under 60 yards rushing. But Nick Marsh, the freshman wide receiver, is a special talent. I mean, he basically won the Maryland game. He's a dynamic outside receiver, big and physical. I look to see them target him quite a bit tonight.
Specific right side of the offensive line is where Jonathan Smith is looking. They've moved Brandon Baldwin, their normal left tackle, to right guard. Nate Carter is the running back on first down. He's got the carry, and that is a productive start. That's exactly what Michigan State wanted out of the bye week. He'll pick up 8 on first down and get them ahead of schedule.
Well, Iowa, in that first play, Cohen Entringer, number 4, a safety they're very high on, started the game. Now he's coming out. Now they're into a base defense. 4 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers. But we'll see Entringer in there in place of the injured Castro when they want to have an extra DB.
2-headed monster in the backfield. Carter on first down. Now it's Kayron Lynch Adams in the backfield on 2nd and 2. And he's got the handoff up the middle, first down. And this is an ideal start for the Spartans.
Yeah, this is a great start. Look, here's the deal with Aiden Childs. He just turned 19 a few weeks ago. He's a young guy. He played some real football last year. At Oregon State, they played him the 3rd series of every game. So it wasn't just mop-up time, but this is a whole new role, running the show now. He's got enormous arm talent, and he's very athletic. But again, he's got to take care of the football better. 11 turnovers in the first 6 games.
His first pass of the day is a completion on the slant, wide open, and Nick Marsh, the talented freshman, brings it into Iowa territory. Gain of 19.
Yeah, nice route and just a big body, right? Good separation. The problem area for Iowa's defense has been that right corner. TJ Hall, number 2, Deshaun Lee, number 8. They've kind of been back and forth with those 2 guys. They're pretty solid on the other side with Jamari Harris. But that right corner position has been a little bit of an issue.
Carter back in there. Parachek, the motion man. Here is Carter finding the hole. Carter running hard. Runs over Wampa at the end to pick up 12.
Well, this is exactly the start. Now just watch this action out here. The blocking, the movement. You can tell this team is fresh coming off the bye week. They're getting out in front of the ball. Nice job by the left tackle, Stanton Ramil. Nice opening drive right now, mixing run and pass for the Spartans.
They played the 2 toughest teams in the Big Ten before the bye week, Ohio State and Oregon, but they moved the ball against both of them. They've talked about finishing drives. Here's a catch for Jerron Glover, and he'll run into a wall of Jay Higgins after a pickup of 2 against this Iowa defense, a defense that, while still stout, isn't quite as good as what we've seen the last 2 years.
Yeah, the area where they've been a little bit under for Phil Parker is their pass defense. I mean, they're taking the ball away, but their pass defense, they've given up a lot of big plays. Jay Higgins in the middle of that defense, the leading tackler in the Big Ten, and he has led this Iowa team every single game in total tackles.
2nd down and 8. See the command from the 19-year-old, chosen as a captain, and certainly has the respect of the locker room. Handoff Lynch Adams, weaving his way through, will set up 3rd down and 5 as Wampa made first contact.
Well, this is kind of Iowa's defensive style. Last week in their win over Washington, Washington took the opening possession, drove it all the way down into Iowa territory, made a couple plays, and then when they got down near the red zone, they kind of got choked out, and they had to settle for a field goal attempt, which was blocked, which was very demoralizing because they had about a 12-play drive, and it ended up at no point. Big 3rd down play right now for the young quarterback.
Jonathan Smith mentioned you've got to go on 8 to 12-play drives against this defense and remain patient. Carter split out wide, empty set for Childs on 3rd down and 5. Childs through his progressions. Now he's going to have to improvise. Childs will throw it away. Smart play, keep it out of harm's way. 4th down and 5 with one of the best kickers in the conference.
Well, Phil Parker wanted to play a lot of zone. All right, this is zone defense. All the eyes are on the quarterback. They wanted to make Aiden Childs stay in the pocket and try to read through progressions. They don't want to play a lot of man and give him lanes to run the football. That time, the zone defense worked, and he had to throw the ball away.
See Kim's numbers, 9 for 9 this season. He had that 58-yarder against Iowa last year. That was actually a Kinnick Stadium record. This one from 42 yards out with the punter Eckley to hold. And Kim gets the scoring started. Off the bye, into the scoring column. Michigan State with a solid opening drive.
Spartans on the board first. One of the ways Jonathan Smith wanted to take some pressure off his young quarterback, be efficient on first down, not have tackle for loss, negative yardage running plays, and you can see good blend of run and pass on those first down plays. Came up short, but had to settle for the field goal attempt, but it was still a good drive, a positive drive, not only for the young quarterback, but for this offensive line that has had to go through a lot of different combinations through the first 6 games. That was a good way to get the game started for them.
4 different starting lineups up front in the first 6 games. The one thing Jonathan Smith and his staff did during the bye week, they went through every single game basically in succession. As this one will be returned by Caden Weegen. He's dangerous with the ball in his hands, and this is why. Weegen across the 35, spun out there. Couple of nice returns against Washington last week, set up this offense in prime territory. Look at the starting lineups delivered by Papa John's. Cade McNamara, the experience at quarterback, but we know where the bread is buttered.
Yeah, they're going to run the football. It's a really solid offensive line. Tim Lester, his first year as the offensive coordinator, has brought some new wrinkles, and Caleb Johnson has played his best football. He has been good every week. The only game he was held under 100 yards was Ohio State at 86, but he comes into the game tonight 63 yards away from 1,000 and having a great year.
12 touchdowns on the season, and they give it to him in any type of formation. This is what Jonathan Smith wanted to see. A number of green jerseys in the area to take down one of the toughest guys to bring to the turf. 3-yard gain.
Yeah, when I talked to Joe Rossi, the defensive coordinator, he says, we've got to tackle him with 11. And we've got to stop the run with 11 guys. I mean, he's too big, and we can't let him get to the second level because of his top-end speed. Joe Rossi, very familiar with Iowa football. He was the defensive coordinator at Minnesota the last several years. Iowa's familiar with him, and he's familiar with them.
Rick Ferentz had nothing but great things to say about the type of coach he is. Oh, great job. Excellent coverage there by this Michigan State defense. It'll be 3rd and long as we check in with Jordan Cornette and a game break.
Bama, Tennessee. Tennessee up 7 in Knoxville. Bama looking to tie this thing up. 90 seconds remaining, and it's Jalen Milroe. No, he's intercepted by Will Brooks. Tennessee holds on to win this one. Bama CFP hopes serious danger, though.
Already 2 losses for Alabama in the Kalen DeBoer era, year 1. And they'll have to be perfect the rest of the way.
Do some excitement in Rocky Top tonight.
Oh, no doubt about it. 3rd down and 7. Put Johnson in the slot. First throw for McNamara with pressure off the edge and nobody home. Ideal start for this Michigan State defense, who's looking maybe in the direction of the tight end, Zach Ortworth.
Yeah, nobody broke out. Now there's going to be pressure here, unblocked. And Cade does a good job of getting rid of the football, but nobody broke out. He threw the ball expecting an out-breaking route, and nobody was there.
He took the shot from Chris
Yeah, he
Vogel,
sure did.
Who has been here, a 6th-year senior, transferred a couple years ago from Florida. And now it is the 19-year-old punter, Reese Dakin, who will send it back to Montori Foster. So points initially, and that was dangerously close as the fair catch is called for and made at the 11-yard line. Another one inside the 20 for Reese Dakin, his 15th of the year on a 49-yard boot. Michigan State gets it back. Players within the structure.
Yeah, I mean, he can coach. Look, I mean, he did a great job at Oregon State, and the thing he had to convince Aiden Childs in this game, look, every possession needs to end with a kick. That first one ended in a field goal. A punt, a field goal, or an extra point.
Ran it well on first down on the first drive, this time to the air. Beautiful ball, Montori, Foster in stride. Spilled out across the 45. Gains 36 through the air.
Well, beautiful job, a little combination, a little hesitation route, and Foster got outside the defense. Again, Endringer in there in the place of Sebastian Castro, and watch the pickup of the blitz and the nice job stepping up in the pocket by Aiden Childs.
The first thing Jonathan Smith said to us about Aiden Childs, he can make all the throws, and then some. His arm talent is very much legitimate. Pops off the screen, and now a first down to go right back to another throw.
That's his tight end. He was late.
Oh, he nearly threw a pick. It was dropped by Schulte.
He had Velling open earlier than this, but he was late. Watch, Velling, number 12, is going to cross the field. He's open right now. But the ball is late, and it's behind the receiver, and it was almost his 9th interception of the season. And that was a gift to Schulte, and he couldn't capitalize.
Schulte does have an interception on the season. 34th consecutive start for the 6th-year senior from Grand Rapids. Now Carter back in there on 2nd down and 10. Carter, patient, was caught up initially by Graves. And does get it to about 3rd and 5. Well, Aiden Childs, we talk about the turnovers, the interceptions tied for second most, the turnover-worthy passes.
Let's go ahead and make that 16.
Courtesy of
the
PFF.
one he just threw is that's what that is.
Well, the completion percentage might be low, but again, it does feel like you're seeing some of those strides forward with each game. And now we'll see how he handles this 3rd down and 4. It's Carter. Lowers the shoulder. He's got it. First down.
I like the run call on 3rd and 4. Take a little pressure off your quarterback. Make this Iowa defense play honest. And a nice power run. Nice job by Carter, lowering the shoulder. Good blocking again by the center, Tanner Miller, one of those guys who came over from Oregon State.
See that? Look at this concentration. So he lowers the shoulder on Schulte here, but the ball pops out, and Carter,
oh my goodness,
sticks with the play and takes it right back. Impressive stuff. Lynch Adams on the toss. The cutback. Stays on his feet. Power run. 14 on the ground. Dragging Schulte with him.
Very nice cutback this time, and because this ball is a toss, you got wide receiver and tight end to block on the perimeter. Should have been a wide play, but he sees a lane, cuts it back, and gets north and south. And the thing they love about Lynch Adams is he's about 5'9", built low to the ground, and a very hard guy to tackle. And this is an outstanding tackling team for Iowa, and you can see the trouble they had with him.
7 carries, 56 yards between the two backs. Here's some pressure, and Childs does get rid of it. He always says, when I'm in trouble, I'm going to find my tight end. Velling came with him from Oregon State, and they've got a nice rapport for a gain of a yard.
Nice job with the bootleg. I like how they use the play action, the bootleg off of their run game. And when you run a bootleg as a quarterback, the very first thing you have to do is after the fake, get your head and eyes around to see if there's pressure. Brian Lindgren's got him well schooled on that. That time he was able to see the pressure, get rid of the ball quick for a short game.
First-year offensive coordinator came over with Jonathan Smith from Oregon State. Childs in the pocket, and that one's going to be dropped. That was an interesting throw as the umpire got in the way of it. Realistically, the receiver got in the way of the umpire. Foster just ran out of space.
Foster's right there in the slot. The ball was a little wide on the throw. I mean, I'm not sure that Foster would have gotten there even if the official was not in the way. It wasn't a great throw on a short route. And now another 3rd down play for this Michigan State offense. Remember the last 3rd and long type play, Iowa played zone, rushed 4, and tried to make the quarterback stay in the pocket and read through his progressions.
Johnson, the motion man on 3rd down and 9. Childs takes his time, loads it up towards the sideline. Incomplete. Johnson was looking for a flag, and he won't get it. Cohen Intriger in there for Sebastian Castro with a tight coverage.
Well, this time it's man coverage with 2 deep safeties. He's got a step. You could see a little bit of a grab there, and it definitely looks like it should have been defensive pass interference. The new cash position player in there, Intriger, and he got away with one there.
Terry McCauley gave us the thumbs up that it looked like enough contact. Didn't even really get the head around either, which is generally the telltale sign. So Jonathan Kim this time from 43, and he is automatic. 2 drives, 2 field goals. Michigan State with efficient offense so far, leading 6-0.
Why settle for less when you can get the new $7 Lux Cravings Box from Taco Bell? Because an indulgent, beefy 5-layer burrito is luxurious. A crunchy Doritos Locos Taco is opulent. A Chicken Chalupa Supreme piled high with deliciousness, lavish. Chips, nacho cheese sauce, a medium drink. The only thing that's not Lux about it is the price. It's Lux for less. The new $7 Lux Cravings Box, only at Taco Bell.
The season finale is upon us!
Huzzah!
Libations?
Help thyself.
Thou keepest dog food in thy fridge?
Oh, it's not dog food. It's fresh pet. Real meat, real veggies.
For thy beast?
Thy what now?
Wait!
There's always a betrayal in the finale.
Fresh Pet. It's not dog food, it's food.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Donald Trump makes a lot of promises, but we can be sure of one thing. If he wins, he'll ignore all checks that rein in a president's power. It's all in Trump's Project 2025 agenda. What does that mean for you? Higher cost on groceries, cuts to Social Security and Medicare, more tax breaks for billionaires, and a national abortion ban putting women's health at risk. A second Trump term, more unhinged, unstable, and unchecked.
All right, let's run that again.
Geico has fast fair claims 24/7 right on the Geico app.
To file a claim, just tap.
Just tap right here to upload pictures, customer.
Try getting on a first name basis.
Sure. Vicky.
To track your status, just click. Super easy.
They're connecting with the mannequins.
You're doing great, everyone.
Ooh, you're a pro.
Scroll, tap, scroll. Ouch! Oh, I'm cramping.
Yeah, we've all been there.
For savings and service, get more with Geico.
I overdid it. Like a showboat, I just overdid it.
Cornette with your game break. Final minute, USC Maryland. Trojans lead by 6, and it's Billy Edwards Jr. on the keeper. Terps secure their first conference win of the season, 29-28, the final, Noah.
And he brought the boom.
Yeah. Tell you what, that guy's had a good season. I mean, they have not won a lot of games. They've had some close ones. But in his first year as the starting quarterback, replacing Talia Tagovailoa, he's had a really nice season.
I'll tell you this too, Todd. Those time zone travels have definitely proven to be difficult around the conference in this first year. There's adjustment periods, and it would be interesting to see how everybody does exactly that. Weegin again will take it from the goal line. Weegin tripped up, had that one last man to beat. Instead is down low. Darius Snow potentially saves a big one. Spooky season is here. Stream Peacock's terrifying new series Teacup, where neighbors confront a mysterious deadly threat. Teacup streaming now only on Peacock. Great look at downtown Lansing. Outstanding sunset here. It was a beautiful day, by the way.
Beautiful weekend.
It really was.
If you get this in Michigan in the middle of October, you take it every day of the week. It has been gorgeous. Trees are changing colors, and it's been awesome.
Foliage is there. Now Iowa's hoping the run game is too. And chopped down again. Nakai Martinez got to Caleb Johnson before he could get past the line of scrimmage for this Michigan State defense.
Yeah, they're going to dare Cade McNamara to beat him throwing the football. This Michigan State defense, Joe Rossi in his first year, and the guy who's played outstanding is the guy who transferred over from Wisconsin. Jordan Turner got voted as a captain, leading tackler. He has played extremely well, and he's off to a good start in this game as well. A couple tackles already.
Local kid coming back home, Farmington Hills, Michigan. McNamara over the middle. Lachey picks up 8.
Lachey is really a big target. I was down the field before the game, and when McNamara first came out to warm up, he was throwing it with Lachey, and just looking at Lachey, his dad was an offensive lineman. He's a big dude, big target right there in the middle of the field.
Saw his dad gym last week. Handoff. Not going to get there. Caleb Johnson chopped down by Cal Haladay, and there's a fight and a scrum.
Well, there's so many guys around the line of scrimmage. Again, they are selling out for this run game. Here's Haladay. He's just going to fill in the gap here. The linemen occupy the blockers. The linebackers are freed up. And Haladay with a nice tackle behind the line of scrimmage. The best way to stop a guy like Caleb Johnson is to stop him before he gets going. Hit him in the backfield, knock his legs out, and force a punt.
I have heard from the Locked On Spartans podcast that it is important to mention Cal Haladay doesn't have gloves on when he plays. Two straight 3-and-outs to start the game for this Michigan State defense. Fair catch called for and made by Montori Foster at the 17-yard line. So Michigan State with a pair of field goals, a pair of 3-and-outs, an excellent start on homecoming. And boosters smell fresh all day long. 2009 matchup between these two teams, 2 seconds left. Iowa punches it in. Marvin McNutt with the game-winning touchdown. And then, yeah, the two coaches can reminisce pregame, actually, with Jonathan Smith in there. The meeting of the minds with Mark D'Antonio. Now the all-time winningest head coach here, but also the inductee, College Football Hall of Fame class of 2024.
And you know what? I've known Mark D'Antonio for a long time. He smiles a lot more being retired.
Does, right?
You know? I mean, he's got the house up on the lake. I think he's got grandkids now. Doesn't have to go home and grade film tonight.
Sounds like a pretty good life.
He's in a good place.
He's still very active with this program. Childs is going to keep it here on first down, and the shimmy shake is going to get him a couple extra yards as he gets tracked down by Brian Allen. We check in with KT.
Yeah, guys, it's actually D'Antonio's 3rd game back here as well. He loves coming and supporting this team. You guys were talking earlier about the transfers that came over with Jonathan Smith from Oregon State. Jack Felling told me he believes Coach Smith challenges his players and his staff. He said each and every day we take one step forward. The more I get to know him, I see the way he treats us is the way he treats his kids. More on that in a second, Noah.
All right, 2nd down and 5 after the 5-yard gain on first down. That's been the reason for some of the success. Oh, the freshman, Mekhi Frazier, with a heck of a cut and gets it to 3rd and very short. Back to KT.
Well, he said the biggest thing is that the way he acts around his family is what they see. He's seen it for 3 years now. He said he's a good guy. He surrounds himself with good people. And then in the football piece, he called him a genius. And he said, I've seen it firsthand for 3 seasons.
Well, Todd, you mentioned it. This guy can coach football, flat out. He's an excellent coach. He's a great teacher. He's a great molder of men. And we saw that as he took a program that was hapless to what they were the last 2 years in particular.
Yeah, they were a very competitive and a hard-nosed, blue-collar, physical football team. And that's kind of been the MO for Michigan State in their best years.
3rd down and 1. Let your big quarterback get it for you. On the sneak, Childs will extend this drive.
3rd and short. Big quarterback. You see this little gap right here, and he knows where to go. Gets that body in there. I'll tell you what, on first down in the game, it couldn't be much better if you're Michigan State. They've had 99 of their total yards, 126 yards, 99 have come on first down plays. Good mix of run and pass, but no negative yardage plays so far for this Spartan offense.
That was the most glaring issue for Jonathan Smith, the tackles for losses on first down for the first 6 games of the season. Childs in trouble, and he'll just lob it towards the sideline out of bounds. Nick Jackson came in right up the middle with the pressure.
Yeah, it almost looked like they were setting up a screen of some sort. Here's Jackson. He's going to get pressure right away. A little bit of a delay blitz.
They're discussing whether this is grounding.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I think there were linemen over there only. There were no receivers in that area.
Intentional grounding, offense number 2. No eligible receiver in the vicinity. Lost it down at the spot of the foul.
Ron Snodgrass gives us the call, and it felt pretty clear he was still in the tackle box as well.
Yeah, and I think the back messed up. I think the back should have stayed in and picked up that blitz. And when the blitz came right up the middle, Childs just tried to avoid the negative play and get rid of the football. So I don't necessarily fault him. There just was nobody in the area that was eligible to catch it.
So now this is where you go backward and you put yourself in a precocious position. 2nd down and 22 for Childs. Has to get rid of it quickly. Gets out of the pocket. Childs keeps his head downfield. Now he'll just tuck and run. Childs finding some blocking, reversing fields, and slips a tackle. A lot of running just to get back close to the original line of scrimmage as Intriger makes the tackle.
Yeah, when I talked to Phil Parker on the phone this week, he said, you know, this guy scares me because he's elusive. I don't want to play a lot of man-to-man where our guys turn their back away from him. He's hard to get on the ground, and that time, you're right, he covered a lot of ground to just get almost back to the line of scrimmage. Phil Parker wants to try to keep him in the pocket, make him be a quarterback, make him stay in there, read the coverage, and know where to go with the football and not beat him by just being a better athlete than some of those defenders coming after him.
Reigning Broyles Award winner has terrorized young quarterbacks in the past. There's a 3rd down and 12 with pressure coming. Childs steps into it, it's picked off! Intriger inserted in, comes away with a big play, 9th interception of the season for Childs.
Well, beautifully played by Indringer. It's a zone. Again, it's not man-to-man. Indringer in there for the injured Castro. He's going to carry the defender at first. Here he is. Watch him carry the receiver and then let him go. That's Velling, and keep his eyes on the quarterback. And he slips underneath the throw intended for Foster. So it looked like it was man to Aiden Childs, but it was zone. And Indriger comes away with the interception.
You had Velling, you had Foster over the middle of the field. 8th interception of the season for this Iowa defense. Now Caleb Johnson, can he find any running room? He hasn't found anything so far in this first quarter, but now have it in plus territory. It's McNamara on play action. Loads it up, too high. Looking for Reese Vanderzee, the freshman.
I like the call because, again, Michigan State is selling out to stop the run and not let Caleb Johnson get going. So play action with max protection, 2-man route. And Vanderzee was open, just it was not an accurate throw by Cade McNamara on that 1st down play. But if Michigan State is going to play this way, they're going to have to make some plays throwing the football.
Toss it. Johnson gets it close to the 40. Can you count that as a throw? It's almost a throw.
Now they've got to balance out their offense a little bit. You know, coming into this game, low passing numbers. The only team in the country other than Michigan to not have a pass completion over 40 yards.
Yeah.
They've done some decent things in the pass game the last couple weeks, but right now Michigan State is daring them to throw the football.
Lowest rate of passes thrown, 20+ yards in the air from scrimmage, 6.3%. The national average is 16.4%. Play clock at 5. McNamara over the middle, behind his intended target, Vanderzee, and incomplete. Good coverage by Brantley, and another 3 and out for this offense.
Yeah, may have still come up short, but another miss by Cade McNamara. All right, he missed Vanderzee on the out route. Now he's got a little separation on the crossing route, and the ball's thrown behind him. If he catches that in stride, maybe he's able to turn up for the 1st down, but no chance on the ball thrown behind him like that.
So Drew Stevens a couple years ago put on 35 pounds of muscle so he could boom the ball. This one is 58 yards. Jonathan Kim did this against Iowa for Michigan State last year. Can Stevens return the favor here? Curving out. Had the leg, not the accuracy, and he missed it.
Well, he was 4 for 4 on field goals a week ago. Long being 51. This one even further at 58. And you're right, he had enough on it. Just stayed outright on it. And good field position on the miss now for Michigan State again.
Not to mention the interception doesn't hurt them. Childs has the mistake.
That's right.
Defense holds. Steven misses. And here you are, 6-0, basically right where you were when you gave it away. Brandon Tullis, the other freshman in there, and he will pick up 5 to end this first quarter. And Michigan State, Makai Frazier is the running back on 2nd down and 4 to start this second quarter. Quick throw to the outside. It is caught by Foster, spins away from one, and he does get enough for that first down as Kyler Fisher kept his grasp there.
Yeah, nice quick throw out of the hands of the quarterback, and you got to fight for every yard you get against Iowa. Play like this looks like it could be a big play. Nope, they tackle so well. I mean, they just don't give up many yards after catch, but it was enough for the first down that time on 2nd and short.
Carter back in there. 4 carries, 30 yards so far. He had a solid game against Iowa last year. Kirk Ferentz was very much aware of him. On first down, Childs loads it up, wide open. It's caught out of bounds by Nick Marsh.
Well, this is a perfect time to take a shot. This is max protection. Everybody's staying in. Backs, tight ends. It's 2 routes by the wide receivers. So protect your quarterback and let him go to his favorite target, Nick Marsh, who runs a beautiful route on TJ Hall. Watch this route. Sets him up, little head fake, out to the outside, ball delivered on time and on target.
I know you talked about it earlier, but Jonathan Smith said he's so young but mature football-wise already at his age. Childs with a great read on the keeper. Gets it across the 20 into the red zone. Oh, he's upended. Schulte trying to get a little get back from the last couple drives.
You know, that's the second time now that we've seen this out of Aiden Childs. He hasn't done it a lot, where he fakes the zone and pulls on the read. And this is something Michael Robinson talked about in the pregame show, that they were going to have to do more. I mean, you could tell Iowa not necessarily expecting the quarterback to run. Ethan Herk that time, the defensive end, closed quickly on the back. But that just keeps the defense honest. Even though it wasn't a lot of yards, it makes the defense know you got to account for it.
Schuster has to come in because Childs lost his helmet. So the 6th-year senior transfer from North Dakota will run this 2nd down and 3, or will he?
Now, penalty. Velling a little antsy before the snap. You know, a different voice, a different snap count, different cadence.
Well, start. Offense number 12, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
See at the bottom of the screen, a little movement by the Iowa defensive line. They're allowed to shift like that. That's not a problem. Velling was affected by it and drew the penalty.
In Childs, Jonathan Smith, the whole coaching staff has said they've got complete trust in Tommy Schuster. He's been a great addition to that quarterback room. Came in towards the end of their previous game against Oregon as well. 2nd down and 8, and they keep it on the ground. And slipping through for a solid game, K'Ron Lynch-Adams will set up 3rd and short.
Again, this team ran for 59 yards in their last game against Oregon, 47 yards in the game before that against Ohio State, and already up to 95 in the first half of this one. So a much different productivity out of their offensive line and running game coming out of that bye week.
Again, Iowa defense without Sebastian Castro, one of their most important pieces. Michigan State has moved the ball effectively so far. On the ground, Schulte came in, made a big stop at the line of scrimmage, maybe gains half a yard, but it's 4th down.
Well, fool me once, shame on me, right? This is Schulte now, 3rd down and short. They got the run for the first down earlier in the game. This time Schulte close to the line of scrimmage, gets there before even a blocker can be there. And again, you see the sure tackling of this Iowa defense. They fooled him once with the run on 3rd and 4. That time it didn't work.
So Kim already 2 for 2. This one from inside 40 will be a 36-yard attempt. And Jonathan Kim is 3 for 3. 4 drives, 3 field goals, 1 interception. Michigan State with a 9-0 advantage on Big Ten Saturday night. Brothers of Iowa, Soul Man.
They look like veterans of a lot of football games, road trips.
So Michigan State, after Kim kicks his 3rd field goal with the 2-possession advantage, as Kim will send it away. Weegan has returned a couple already. This time it'll sail into the end zone. So now Iowa's offense is going to trot out once again. Who will be quarterbacking them is the question. We saw Brendan Sullivan looked like he was warming up on the bench, but McNamara is out there with his group. Sullivan keeps his helmet on, and we'll see how this works through the rest of this drive.
Yeah, now Sullivan is going to play regardless because they've used him a lot when they get in the red zone, and he's a dual threat guy more so than Cade McNamara. I kind of expected he was coming in there to try to give him a spark, but they're going back to Cade McNamara on this possession.
And Caleb Johnson out on first down. It's going to be Kamari Moulton who will run it, and not for very much, maybe a yard. Wayne Matthews III greets him with a bear hug.
Well, these linebackers are playing downhill for Michigan State. I mean, the defensive line is just holding the blocks, not allowing Iowa's offensive line that's been so good to get to the second level. They're protecting those linebackers, and these linebackers are playing downhill, and they're playing with 3 of them. Halliday 27, Turner 7, Jordan Hall 5, all in there around the football.
O'Shea in motion on 2nd down and 9. McNamara, screen, Johnson turns it upfield, and the toe tap down the sideline, a little extra after the fact as he delivered the pain on Martinez, but a 1st down pickup and the first one of the game for this Iowa offense.
Well, this is much needed, and you see the speed now of Caleb Johnson. Halliday has a pretty good angle. Not anymore. He just outruns the angle to the sideline. And for a big guy, his speed is so impressive, and it's deceiving. You don't expect a guy that big to be that fast. He showed it on that play.
17 first quarter yards, 18 on that one play to Johnson. He goes to the sideline. Moulton back in there on 1st down. Here he is. And he'll rumble forward for 3 as we go to KT.
Well, Iowa running backs coach and former NFLer Liddell Betts told me Johnson is just scratching the surface. He said it's his first time as the full-time starter in every phase of the game. We tried to protect him early in his career, but now you're seeing a guy who has matured as a person and a player. All of his hard work, all those days of sweating and working out, they're coming to fruition for him. He's a great kid. He's fun to coach, and he's having an outstanding year, guys.
An outstanding year might be an understatement. Leading the Big Ten in touchdowns, #2 in FBS, and #1 in the Big Ten in rush yards, as Moulton will dive forward and pick up the 1st down here. And we'll see Johnson get back on the field. He just hasn't found that pop yet. I mean, we've seen a couple games where it's taken him a quarter maybe, and then he's just broken out.
I think where he has shown the greatest growth in year 3 of playing in this system and playing for Kirk Ferentz is it's the everyday, how he practices every day, how he is in the weight room, being on time, being first on the practice field. Those little habits are paying off in a big way.
Pitch, Johnson. They're going to get to the outside. He won't. Tripped up by Ed Woods.
Ed Woods does a great job of just beating the block of Dayton Howard. Watch, Woods just beats the block of the corner and is setting the edge of the defense, not allowing Caleb Johnson to get outside. Really well done by the corner, defeating the block on the perimeter.
Five carries, 6 yards for Johnson. Jacob Gill looked confused at the bottom. Put his hands by his side with the play clock down to 5. 2nd down and 10 for McNamara. Down the sideline, incomplete. Heck of an effort by Lachey to try to get to it, but Ed Woods blanketing him.
Back-to-back plays by Ed Woods. Ed Woods is a 6-foot corner going against a much bigger tight end. But he uses the sideline to his advantage, kind of works the receiver right to the sideline, and able to get a hand up and make a play on the football. Really well done by Ed Wood, bringing up 3rd and long.
Coming over from Arizona State. Decided on Michigan State over Alabama in the transfer process. And now here they are at 3rd down and 10. McNamara rifles. It is dropped. Jacob Gill with a diving attempt, and it's 4th and long.
Well, again, not a very accurate pass by Cade McNamara. It's one-on-one. Gill's going to run the out. He's got the first down, and the ball is just not thrown in a great place to make the catch. He's got to dive and come back to it. Tremendous effort, but not able to hold on to it. But a better throw would have made for a first down for the Hawkeyes.
So now Reese Dakin looking to pin this Michigan State offense deep once again. He has really come into his own as his freshman season has gone on. Foster back deep. This one a high kick. Foster's hit into the end zone. Touchback. Anarchy near the goal line, but Michigan State will have to go the length of the field already with a 9-0 advantage. It was a Spartans crowd that was looking forward to what this team would look like after the bye week, and the biggest stress was up front.
Yeah, had to run the football better. 96 yards rushing so far, and it's been a little bit of everything. Inside, good blocking by the center. Watch the left tackle, Stan Ramil here. Get outside on the perimeter, get a key block. Another positive run, and then that sets up play action. Belling comes over, allows the quarterback to step up in the pocket. Explosive play down the field in the pass game. The offensive line has looked like a solid group here so far in this game.
183 yards for Michigan State, only 49 for this Iowa offense. Carter's in there. It's a play action pass over the middle. It's caught in between defenders. Marsh. Sure hands from the freshman. His 3rd catch of the day goes for 17.
Well, watch the play fake and watch these linebackers all get affected and get sucked up near the line of scrimmage. They expect run. Here comes the throw behind him before the safety Schulte could get there. And that big body target of Nick Marsh. The play fake set that play up by bringing in those defenders.
So the 3 grabs for the 61 yards. Tullis is back in there on first down as the back. They have rotated 4 running backs in so far, and Tullis will take this one for 4.
And again, their effectiveness on first down has been a consistent thing tonight. They've been able to get positive yardage. One of the things they said, they like to run the wide zone, and they felt like when they went back and looked at the cut-ups, they were moving too lateral, and they were getting too many tackles for loss, too much penetration into the backfield. They really targeted that area to improve. So far tonight, their running game, they're getting pushed, they're getting movement, and they're getting open lanes for a number of backs.
You'd expect those numbers to be flipped. 11 yards on first down average right now for the Spartans, just 1 for this Iowa running attack and this Iowa offense. Carter will take this to the 45 as we'll check in with Jordan Cornette in the game break.
Georgia, Texas in Austin, final seconds of the first quarter. And it's Trevor Etienne taking the toss. He knows what to do with it. Finds pay dirt, finds 6. Dogs lead early. 7-0 in a good one, though.
JC, appreciate it. Todd, I don't know if I can remember the last time Georgia was an underdog in a game.
Yeah, I think they took that a little personal. I think people, I think some people may have kind of forgotten about Georgia.
Completely.
They are not a forgotten team.
3rd down and 4 now for Childs. Steps up in the pocket. Childs across his body, and a flag is down. He was looking for Marsh. Tight coverage there from TJ Hall.
Yeah, good idea by Aiden Childs to take a shot on this one. He eluded pressure, he extended the play, and that meant that the coverage had to stay even longer on Nick Marsh.
Iowa, the least penalized team in the country, but this one could be big.
Holding defense number 2. That penalty's declined. Pass interference number 2. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
2.7 penalties per game, less than 26 penalty yards, but this one is a crusher.
Yeah, and the holding is 5 yards in automatic first down. The pass interference, 15, and still a first down. So you take the yardage, the more egregious penalty, and Michigan State deep in Iowa territory again.
For a set of downs, reverse, Johnson Childs gets out with a block. Johnson finds some space for 15 yards. Little trickeration for the Spartans.
This has really been a masterful first half by Brian Lindgren, calling plays for this Michigan State offense. A little bit of everything. This is the first misdirection play we've seen. A couple quarterback runs, good blend of run and pass, and keeping this stout Iowa defense off balance and on the field for a long time.
171 yards on first down alone now for Michigan State. Meanwhile, Hall goes to the sideline. John Nestor, who is typically a gunner as a sophomore, is going to come in at the bottom of your screen, number 7 in white. He's matched up with the running back, Lynch Adams. And it goes to Lynch Adams on the pass for a first down.
Yeah, go right at him, right? The new guy in the game, they go right at him. And this is a running back out there, but he runs a pretty solid route. Gives a good target to the quarterback, makes the secure catch, and then gets a few extra yards after the catch.
Nick Jackson there to eventually make the tackle, came in with 39. Second on the team to Jay Higgins, who has 62 tackles on the season. A first down now inside the 15, knocking on the door of a goal-to-go situation.
Red zone touchdowns have been a real issue for this Michigan State offense. One of the worst in college football.
Mainly the turnovers. Lynch Adams on the jump cut will get it to the 10 and not much further.
Coming into this game, 21 red zone opportunities, only 8 touchdowns. That's 38%. Very, very low percentage. They've had to settle for field goals tonight, only in the red zone one time, and had to settle for that field goal. The other 2 field goals outside of the red zone, but here they are again with another opportunity.
Brian Lindgren trying to find the right mix. It has been easy in terms of moving the football, which is not what you typically see against an Iowa defense. And to Michigan State's credit, they've been patient so far.
Well, 2 weeks ago when they played Ohio State, they moved the ball really well, but they had 3 turnovers in the red zone in the first half. That was really their undoing in that ball game.
6 rushers, 5 receivers already have touched the football. Lynch Adams trying to get away, and he won't. He gets planted in the backfield. Nick Jackson delivered the hit. Loses 3.
Well, first it was Aaron Graves. Watch number 95 get penetration. He's the guy that makes the initial play. Gets in the backfield, forces the back to kind of go sideways, and then Nick Jackson there to finish him off. But Aaron Graves, who was the co-Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week, coming off the Washington game a week ago, with a big negative yardage play right there as well.
So now it's 3rd down and 10, a completely different situation, and we'll see how Childs deals.
Marsh is at the bottom.
He's matched up with Nestor. They go to him. Marsh, the catch, and Nestor with a tackle may have saved the touchdown.
Yeah, he did, because Marsh was on his way to the end zone. Big cushion in this part of the field, respecting Marsh. A missed tackle, and if he doesn't stumble, he walks into the end zone. Michigan State playing the matchup game right now. They know there's new guys out there. They're going after them, and they're putting their best in the favorable positions, and all of this is the result of the absence of Sebastian Castro on this Iowa defense.
4th down and 2. They were 2 for 2 in their last game against Oregon on 4th down, and flags are down with movement up front.
Again, one of the reasons we're seeing John Nestor in the game is because Deshaun Lee and TJ Hall, the other guys who have rotated at right corner, have struggled all year. And Phil Parker said, and he coaches the DBs.
Ball start. Offense number 53, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Phil Parker says, I've never rotated as many guys at cornerback as I have this season. There you see the flinch right there. Movement again, which is allowed for this Iowa defense. Quarterback is trying to go to the line of scrimmage and change the play, and just a lack of concentration that time by Brandon Baldwin.
Nestor stays in per usual on special teams. Jonathan Kim looking for his career-high 4th made field goal in the first half. This one from 29. And Kim is 4 for 4. So again, Michigan State moves the ball down the field, but they stall out in the red zone, and they settle for a field goal. 12-0 Spartans on Big Ten Saturday night. And this offense has been anemic so far. 2:28 to play in this second quarter. They will get the football to start the second half with all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout. So this is the opportunity to build some momentum, but we haven't seen Brendan Sullivan come in quite yet to spell him. Kim will boot it away. Weegan. The return from 3 yards deep. And Weegan runs into a wall across the 15. Doesn't even get back to the 20. Long field to work with for Iowa with 2:21 to play.
Well, time now for Big Shots, brought to you by Nissan. And as much as we talked about the offensive line of Michigan State, how about this defense, particularly the run defense? The #1 running offense in the Big Ten has gotten nothing tonight. A lot of guys around the line of scrimmage, linebackers and safeties playing downhill, only 19 yards rushing for Iowa. And when they have tried to throw, excellent coverage downfield. 49 yards of total offense, and we're almost to the break. Outstanding effort by Joe Rossi's defense here in the first half.
Handoff. Johnson. It's only a matter of time before he breaks one. Had a long run at the end of the first half last week against Washington that set up a field goal opportunity before the end of the first half. See if they get one more off. And they will. McNamara guns it. Incomplete. Johnson couldn't haul it in. It'll bring us to the 2-minute timeout. Michigan State has gotten 4 Jonathan Kim field goals, and despite the interception from Childs, a perfect defensive effort from the Spartans. They lead at 12-0 the first half. It feels like a must-get of some kind of momentum here.
Yeah, even if you don't get points. I mean, it's only 12-0, but you have to get some kind of traction, some kind of movement and momentum to take into the locker room. You're going to get the ball to start the third quarter, but you have really done nothing with the football so far tonight.
0 for 4 on third down so far. It's going to be 0 for 5. Johnson's going to come up short.
See, the problem for Iowa is they're used to their offensive linemen being able to get to the second level, but watch these linebackers, how quickly they come downhill. So there is no second level of the defense. Everybody is getting to the first level right at the line of scrimmage. They're selling out to stop the run with safeties and linebackers, and they're doing a tremendous job. Again, Joe Rossi for the last 8 years before this year was at Minnesota. 5 of those years he was the defensive coordinator. He knows this team. He knows how Iowa wants to run the football, what their run scheme is. And so far, the plan that he's put together, he and the defensive staff, has been beautiful.
We talked to Jordan Turner, the captain linebacker. Meanwhile, by the way, Michigan State did take their first time out here, so they'll get the football back with a little under 1:45 after the punt. But the one thing Jordan Turner did say to us, he said, no, we've been pretty good against the run, even before. If you go before those Ohio State and Oregon games, those 2 teams are almost anomalies at this point. They've been pretty good against the run. They felt confident coming into this game. And now the question is Iowa willing to risk this 4th and 1 deep in their own territory?
I would be a little surprised, but maybe not. I mean, and they're in the gun, so now they're coming under center. They may just go with the snap count, try to get the 5-yard penalty. You have shifts and movement, loud, hard count. They're going to punt the football. They're just doing this to try to draw the penalty.
And that's exactly what happens. Michigan State stays home.
First time out, Iowa, they're first.
Well, in the past, punting has certainly been winning for Iowa. Right now, they're going to need to find something else.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go for it there. You've run for 28 yards. They've totally stopped Caleb Johnson. 7 carries for 15 yards, and 9 of that came on 1 run. So now is not the time to try to go for a 4th and 1. Go into the locker room, try to regroup, and try to come up with a different plan. And I got to believe that plan has to involve giving Brendan Sullivan a chance at quarterback. They've got to try to change it up and get some kind of new mojo going on offense in the third quarter.
Reese Dakin back out there to punt. Montori Foster has been conservative so far as the returner. And we'll do the same thing here with a fair catch right at the 30. A 45-yard boot from the freshman.
Well, we knew that Nick Marsh was a talent, and Jonathan Smith said, we got to target him more tonight. He was great against Maryland, got hurt against Prairie View, missed a couple games. Now he's back 100% healthy, and we can see what this guy can do. Big-bodied receiver, has a great feel for the game. He's going to be a great receiver. Michigan State has had a number of big-time receivers come through this program. And this is the guy that looks to be next in line.
Even just a couple years ago, Jaden Reed and Keon Coleman on the team both have moved on as second-round picks in the NFL. First down at the 29. Plenty of time here with 2 timeouts. Childs will run it himself. He's got blocking from Carter in front and crunched after a gain of 7.
I think right now what Brian Lindgren and Jonathan Smith are going to do is they've got 2 timeouts. They've got the lead. They don't want to put their quarterback in a dangerous situation. See if they get a first down here. If they get it out around the 50, then maybe become more aggressive. But you don't want to put him in a bad spot right now. And if he does run again, he's got to make sure he protects the football and doesn't let Iowa punch it out.
He's lost 3 fumbles this year. Already has his 9th interception of the season earlier in this game. And there is that first down from Nate Carter as he'll get it to the 40. The clock will pause. They still have the 2. Don't look like they'll take it here.
They got Marsh down here again.
Matched up with Nestor. Childs. Lets it fly. Oh, it was nearly brought in. The flag comes down. Jerron Glover matched up with the sophomore Nestor.
Yeah, it wasn't Marsh. It was Jerron Glover, a more veteran receiver, matched up.
Pass interference. Defense, number 7. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
It was on the adjustment. He's in pretty good shape, but when Glover tried to take that deep and adjust to the scramble, that's what drew the penalty. Pulling that right arm down. Even though he made a play with the football, he still pulled the one arm down, and that's what drew the flag. And now you can be more aggressive if you're Brian Lindgren.
Already close to field goal range. Kim has hit from 58 before. Can't take the sack. Childs extending the play again. This time he'll just try to get it past the line of scrimmage, gains a yard, and exactly, Jonathan Smith does take his second.
Yeah.
Charge timeout, Michigan State, their second.
Good discipline by Jay Higgins to stay in front of Childs there, and this has been the storyline. We talked about it right from the beginning. No Sebastian Castro for this defense. We've seen Deshaun Lee, we've seen TJ Hall, and now John Nestor has played a lot more in the last series and a half.
Yeah, again, that has been the position that's been a problem all season for Phil Parker's defense. Coming into the game, they had allowed 17 pass completions of 20 yards or more. That's very high for this defense, and more added to that tonight. So it continues to be a problem area, and rightfully so. Michigan State recognizes that, and they're going after Nestor. I mean, that's smart football. That's an NFL mindset of finding matchups and playing to your strength in the matchups.
Childs taking care of the football so far on this drive. 1 timeout left with 36 seconds remaining in the half. It's a 2nd down and 9. Empty set, Childs. Happy feet. Childs deals, sideline, incomplete. And no flag down as Foster got put to the deck.
Well, he took his eyes off of Marsh too soon, because Marsh beat Nestor. And if he gives him a chance, he would have had a touchdown here. Watch Marsh run right by him. There's no safety coming over the top. You got to give him that chance. And for whatever reason, Aiden Childs came off of that target too soon and ended up having to throw the football away.
Wonder how careful they're going to be on this 3rd down and 9. Again, Kim can hit from deep. Get it to the 40, it's a 58-yarder.
This might be a run.
It's a pass. Childs quick, And it is a completion of Velling. It's going to be close to the first down, but just a yard shy with the clock moving.
Yeah, because he went backwards, the clock kept moving. He was trying to fight to get out of bounds. Clock is moving, so now Jonathan Smith's going to let it go down all the way and try for a 5th field goal here in the first half.
So with 4 seconds left, this is going to be marked at the 37, so about a 55-yarder for Jonathan Kim.
Do you think Jonathan Kim came to the stadium today knowing he was going to get this much work? I mean, a lot of times a kicker goes through a game, doesn't really even need a shower after the game because he didn't even really sweat.
Well, that's why you want your kicker bullpen.
But he has had a busy game already, and we've only played 30 minutes.
Already has a career high 4 field goals. This one would tie a program record, 5 field goals for a game, and he would do it in the first half. I mean, this guy has been literally perfect so far this season. Iowa looking for any break they can get. Remember, they did block one from Grady Gross in the first quarter last week against Washington. But what a way this would be to finish the half with Iowa getting the football to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, that was Y.A. Black, number 94, who got the block a week ago.
Charge timeout, Iowa. Their second.
Here's a look at that block from Y.A. Black, and this was, as you called it, demoralizing for Washington.
Well, they had about a 12-play drive, and they stalled in the red zone, went for a field goal to take the first lead of the game, and came up empty. It'll be interesting to see where they line up Black on this attempt.
He's a quiet monster for this team. He does so much on the interior. The stats don't necessarily show how impactful he truly is. Honorable mention all conference last year, and he's well on his way to another impressive finish.
Well, the way Iowa plays defense, particularly run defense, the defensive tackles, their job is to play 2 gaps, to hold offensive linemen and allow the linebackers the freedom to run around and make tackles.
Kim has made from 42, 43, 36, and 29 already. This one from 55 yards out. Jonathan Kim. No good. His first miss of the season, and Iowa finally catches a break to end the first half. Hawkeyes will get the ball to start the second half, and just got the laces out. Eckley with a nice job there, and then the contact late. Kim thought it could have been a flag.
Well, the kick was off. He was down. Herkett just lost his balance. No foul there, I don't think.
Keeps it at a 12-0 game. We go to KT.
Coach, your kicker's been exceptional in this game, but what do you need to do better to capitalize on those red zone opportunities?
Well, yeah, you got to be able to capitalize because we've got some good field position. The drives have been there, and then we've stalled out. Credit to Iowa, but that's why you got to make some halftime adjustments here.
What is your defense doing so well against Iowa's running game?
Yeah, effort. I think they're making it physical, tackling well, not leaving it to one guy. We're gang tackling out there because that guy's a good back. This is a good run game.
Right, Coach, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Well, KT, halftime adjustments could be
7 game. I mean, so the game is not anywhere near out of reach for the Hawkeyes. They just got to figure something out here on offense.
Weegan from the 3. This is a good start. Weegan across the 40. Another solid return as we send it down to KT.
Well, Noah, I just talked to Kirk Ferentz, and he said we are just going to keep doing what we've been doing. That means you're going to see Cade McNamara get the ball here in the second half. Regarding getting the running game going, and Caleb Johnson, he said, we're going to have to change up our strategy, and you're going to see that here. His overall message to his team was, listen, we've got 30 minutes more to play. We've been in this position before. Just go out there and play football and be determined to get this win tonight, guys.
Well, look, KT, we asked Caleb Johnson about Cade McNamara and how he's been so far this year. He said he's been an outstanding leader. He's been a great motivator. He's been awesome in terms of his captain-type leadership in the locker room. And we'll see what he can do now, down 12-0 to start this second half. Play clock already down to 5. They hand it off. It's Weegan. Dangerous with the ball in his hands, gets it to midfield.
Well, there's part of that change in strategy, right? A little misdirection. They're keyed in on Caleb Johnson. So you fake it to him, you give it to Weegan, and you get a very productive play on first down. Michigan State dominated first down in the first half. And that's a nice call by Tim Lester to start the third quarter, and are already after the return across the 50-yard line.
Tim Lester, the big acquisition this offseason as that offensive coordinator. Points per game have nearly doubled so far this year, averaging 29.2. Toss it, Johnson. Nice vision to get the first down.
A really nice cut. I mean, this is the mid zone. This is their base run play. And so as this thing takes off, you're going to see the vision of Caleb Johnson. He gets it deep, and he sees a cutback lane, and he's able to break a tackle. And not a lot of running room for Caleb in that first half, but a nice run there early here in the third quarter.
Johnson has been slowly but surely picking up some steam, now up to 21 yards.
They're still going to have to make some plays in the pass game and get some chunk yardage.
Back to Johnson, no running room, trapped in the backfield. The immediate penetration from Jalen Thompson off the edge, and he loses 4.
Yeah, Jalen Thompson, he's going to come right here, but then watch these linebackers again, how quickly they come downhill. There's the penetration, slows them up, and the linebacker's there to finish them off. Negative yardage play on first down. Push the line back, get behind the scrimmage line, and get the tackle for loss.
Thompson has started every game so far this year after 4 games started last year. He just says he feels a lot more confident in what he's doing. A new scheme, but a lot of guys around that have helped. McNamara with the completion. It's going to go to Zach Ortworth. And he'll set up third and a lot more manageable with Cal Holiday making the play.
And we talk about Iowa needing to get more out of their passing game. And it starts with Cade McNamara, but it also, who on this Iowa offense out on the perimeter can win, can get open, can get separation. In that first half, there was not a target to any receiver throwing the football. There was 2 targets to Caleb Johnson, or 3, and the other 4 targets to tight ends. Who else can win on the outside for Iowa?
Imperative on these types of situations now. A 3rd down and 4, or 0 for 5 on 3rd down in the first half. Ortworth, the motion man. McNamara uncorks. It is caught. Vander Zee, impressive adjustment for the first down.
Well, there's the answer. Vander Zee is a freshman. He was a high school quarterback. He's getting more and more comfortable with the physicality of the college game, and he did a great job that time of fighting off tough physical contact, getting separation, and making a nice catch for first down. Their first 3rd down conversion and the first catch by a wide receiver in this game.
They love what the future has in store for Vander Zee. Believe he's going to be a massive weapon for them in years to come. Gill, the motion man, they hand it to him, and he loses yards right into the arms of Anthony Jones.
Second consecutive first down play, a negative yardage play created by this Michigan State defense. Tried to go misdirection again, little jet sweep. Not sure why he was unblocked. But a nice open field tackle by Jones.
Second down and 11. It's Johnson. And he slips through inside the 20. Team defense on Caleb Johnson. That was the name of the game coming in. They have lived up to the scouting report and forced a 3rd and long.
Michigan State is just rallying to the football when he gets it, because they know how dangerous he is if he gets to the second level and if he gets a full head of steam with his speed. And they're just not allowing him to get much going.
See, Seth Anderson, number 6, is in there. He had a lot of high hopes for what he could be for them as a wide receiver this season. He was hurt for the beginning of the year. Could be a target on 3rd and 8.
He's got the most juice, the most speed of any of their wideouts.
It's McNamara looking sideline. It is caught. Vander Zee, touchdown. He mosses Ed Woods. What a grab.
And what a throw. Again, Vander Zee had to get used to the physicality of the college game. fighting off a press.
Defense number 4. Penalties decline. The result of the play, touchdown.
And what a throw by Cade McNamara. Tight coverage, give your guy a chance. Vanderzee goes up and high points the catch. He's 6'4". Guess he got his foot down. That was a little close there, but what an effort. And what a throw by Cade McNamara. He was 3 for 9 in the first half. Catch, foot down, secured catch. Yep, great call. And what an effort.
He actually looked like he dragged that right foot even in the end zone after the fact. So Stevens comes on, touchdown confirmed, 12-7 in just over 5 minutes. And just like that, the Hawkeyes have found a little bit of a rhythm. McNamara through the air, gets up to 75 yards, and the freshman showing why the coaching staff is so excited about what the future has in store in Iowa City. Several years in this state as a Wolverine. Finds his footing, finds some grip, and finds a touchdown to Reese Vanderzee to start this third quarter. Stevens will send it away. And this one will angle its way into the end zone. So Aiden Childs in that first half, 1 interception, but overall protected the football, moved the football, couldn't get it into the end zone. He's got to play clean in the second half.
Yeah, he does. I mean, it's the same kind of game. It's a one-possession game. They had 6 offensive possessions. 4 of them ended with a kick. 1 of them was a missed field goal and the interception. He's got to keep doing that. Take care of the football. Don't take unnecessary risks. And know that it's going to be a 4-quarter game against the Hawkeyes.
They're keeping John Nestor, the sophomore cornerback, in. Nate Carter, the running back, on first down, and he's got the rock. Carter tripped up from behind, gains 4. Herkett and Black in on the play.
And again, if I am Brian Lindgren, when I want to throw the football, I'm going to target Nestor. Not that he's not a capable player, but the guy on the other side, Jermari Harris, is their best cover guy, and he's their leading interceptor. And now this is your number 3 cornerback opposite him that you put in the game. If they don't help him with a safety, that's who you go after in the throw game.
Right now he's matched up with a freshman, Marsh. Looking that direction, it's going to be Belling, the tight end, and he will drag his way. Nick Jackson couldn't bring him down before he picks up the necessary yardage to move the sticks.
Well, they basically attack that side. That's a little concept where we have a slant by the outside receiver and a little flat route by the motion tight end, and you just pick the open guy. Here's the slant, and there's the out, and a nice effort after the catch by Belling.
Belling, another productive day, coming off a game he had 6 catches for 53 yards. He's now up to 3 catches for 15. Giles, other side, and a low catch made by Jerron Glover. Again, moving the ball, and they're being effective on first down, which was the biggest key.
Yeah, I mean, in the first half, Michigan State had 210 yards on first down. They averaged 11 yards a play. And again, Iowa only had 58 yards in that whole first half. Now, a good drive to start the third quarter, but first down has been excellent for Michigan State's offense.
Only 6 total points in the third quarter this year for the Spartans. Would love to cash in and extend this lead.
Balls away.
Quick, Marsh. Nearly made a miss, but Nestor, with discipline, kept him in front and forces 3rd and short.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play by Nestor. Now, he knows that they're going to pick on him, right? He's out here with Marsh, and we talked about this tackling ability of this team. He hangs on long enough to allow his buddies to come from the inside. This is well played by Nestor out there on the island with Marsh. Should we say Marsh Island, maybe?
Feeling that way. Sebastian Castro, all he can do is watch with the ankle injury here today. 3rd down and 2. Childs looking to follow his blocking. Childs gets away, so slippery. Aiden Childs makes another man miss inside the 30. That's Childs' play.
Well, we just talked well about Nestor. Here he is again. Now watch him get juked out. He's the last guy on the end here. See you later. Aiden Childs with the shiftiness. Gets the first down, moves the sticks again.
Career-long rush of 26 yards, and this is one of those, how did he do that?
Yeah.
How did he find a way to get away and extend it? 59 on the ground already for the QB. Parachek the motion man. Childs to the air. Dump it down. It is Lynch Adams, and he runs into a host down to the 26 to KT.
Well, Jack Velling played with Childs last season at Oregon State. He told me this week he makes plays you don't typically see at the quarterback position. I think what makes him succeed is his confidence in his play recognition and the way that he lifts everyone else up before himself. I just expect that to keep on going as he matures and develops here, guys.
They've got the right connection. Childs, that was the one thing, because you talked about how there are so many old quarterbacks around.
Yep.
And this guy's 19 years old, but they believe, and Jonathan Smith believes, they will reap the benefits of the experience he's getting this year. And it's just a true sophomore.
And he's showing poise and maturity so far in this one.
Lynch Adams spins away. Lynch Adams keeps the legs churning. Schulte tried to keep him in front. It'll be third down and a short one.
You know, Michigan State's schedule, starting a couple weeks ago with Ohio State and then Oregon, not only are they good teams and ranked teams, but look at the ages of the quarterbacks leading those teams. Not only older guys, but guys that played a lot of ball at other places, you know, experienced guys. And this kid just turned 19 on September the 12th. A much different scenario.
They'll toss it this time. Lynch Adams will get there. First down inside the red zone. So what you're saying is it's a bunch of Van Wilders against a freshman, basically.
That's right.
Sophomore in this case.
Who's growing up week by week, and nobody benefited from the bye week more than Aiden Childs. They looked at all his good plays, his bad plays, said, look, when your footwork is good, when your timing is good, this is what happens. But when things get out of whack, when you start, your eyes are in the wrong place, your feet are in the wrong place, mistakes happen. And they went over all of that, and he has played pretty solid here in the ball game so far tonight. In the red zone, looking for a chance to capitalize.
Looking towards Nestor's side. It's Foster in the end zone. Touchdown! Perfect ball from Childs. 18-yard strike.
And I love the call on first down, Noah. You get the hard run for the third down conversion. Now you go play action. Little corner route on the new corner, and not even close. Excellent route by Montori Foster. Perfect timing and ball placement by Childs. And another first down successful play, this time for a touchdown in the red zone.
Second touchdown of the season for Foster, 7th of his career. 6th passing touchdown for Childs, and Kim's extra point makes it 19-7. 9 plays off the charts.
Really was. Aiden Childs showing his skill set in full display on that one.
Here's Weegan. Another positive return, gets it to the 30 for this Iowa offense that in the first half had 58 total yards. On their last drive, had 58 total yards and the 7 points.
Yeah, and a couple nice throws by Cade McNamara, and a couple tough, hard-nosed catches by a wide receiver, Reese Vanderzee. Opened up a little space for their stud Caleb Johnson. And it all started with a misdirection run, a little jet sweep to Weegan that kind of got the drive going.
Johnson still 10 carries, 20 yards, 2 yards per carry. He's got some room here. Johnson couldn't make a miss. Charles Brantley goes down low.
It's a big tackle because, again, this guy has elite speed, and if he is able to turn the corner, he could take this all the way. But Brantley goes low on the bigger back, knocks the legs out. Brantley is their best cover corner, but that time showed up in run defense in a big way.
But Johnson to the side. Jazzy and Patterson, haven't seen a ton of him, is in there. They've loved the way he's run the football this year. He hits those holes hard. 2nd down and 9. Play action over the middle. It's caught. Lachey still going to the 40.
Yeah, this was good play action fake. Michigan State, again, has been selling out for the run. And the linebackers bite on the fake.
There is a flag down and some extracurriculars after the play. Quindarius Dunnigan and Connor Colby going back and forth.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 94. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, 1st down.
Dequan Dowse called for it.
And we've talked about how these linebackers from Michigan State have been playing downhill. Well, watch they play downhill, reading the fake, and the tight end's just going to slip right down behind him. Good play fake, draws the linebackers in, and a nice easy throwing lane for Cade McNamara to his big tight end. And then penalty at the end of the play.
So now just like that, you see it happen right around the 40. They were jawing back and forth. Patterson will have the handoff. And this is a drive that has quickly moved down the field after the longest play of the day for Iowa. 28 yards to Lachey. They are already knocking on the door of the red zone.
Yeah. And it's really come from some key passes. They weren't able to generate passing game. Cade McNamara was 3 for 9 in the first half, and he's off to a much better start here in the second half. He's been on target, and it's loosened up this Michigan State defense and has at least made them play more honestly and not just sell out for the run.
Patterson stays in there. Gill, the motion man, on 2nd and 6. Play action bootleg. McNamara on the run. Throw it behind Vanderzeen, incomplete.
You know, Cade McNamara, I know he doesn't like to talk about his Michigan days very much, but his career best game statistically was in this stadium against Michigan State when he was the quarterback of the Wolverines. A great game. Michigan State won. Thanks to K9. I think he had 5 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, he had himself a day. But McNamara had 383 yards in that one, career high. This is a 3rd and 6. Play clock at 3. McNamara rips it. Caught. Vanderzee in stride inside the 10. It's 1st and goal.
Now Vanderzee this time gets quick separation. There is no press coverage. There is no contact. And he shows you some wheels and speed to get separation right away on Jeremiah Hughes, number 3. And McNamara on target with the football. And all of a sudden now he and Vanderzee have created a little chemistry here after no receiver targets in the first half.
Johnson looking for his 13th touchdown of the season. We'll get it inside the 5.
And see just a little bit of passing success, how it opens up now some stuff for Caleb Johnson. Still not big numbers, but he's starting to get going a little bit. Now, Brendan Sullivan is in at quarterback. This has been their MO through the season. When they get in the red zone, they like to bring him in because he's a better runner than Cade McNamara. Gives him another threat in the red zone.
They are 6 for 6 in the red zone with Sullivan in, getting it to Pater. Patterson just wiggles his way to the 3.
They actually started this. Tim Lester decided to do this after the Iowa State game, their first loss of the season to their bitter in-state rival. They had 3 red zone opportunities, had to settle for 2 field goals, and it really cost them because they had the lead that entire game.
I mean, a field goal here only does you so much good.
Yeah.
You're all the way down towards the goal line. We'll see if they go 4-down territory or if Sullivan can help punch it in here on 3rd and goal. Deals with a snap, keeps it himself. Sullivan has blocking. Sullivan has the touchdown. Brendan Sullivan stays perfect, and Iowa's back within a score.
Now, I think this was by design that he runs it this way, but the snap was so bad that he didn't get to make a fake to the back. But watch this tight end lead the play. That's why I think it was by design. But he doesn't even get to make a fake to Caleb Johnson because he has to secure the snap first. But once he did that, he was able to follow the block and get into the end zone.
2 drives in this third quarter, 2 touchdowns for Iowa. And the extra point from Drew Stevens makes it 19-14. They had 58 total yards of offense in the first half. But Brendan Sullivan doing what he's done, the Northwestern transfer, finding pay dirt, and it is a 5-point ball game late in the third.
White helmet with a blue stripe.
Do you have pride about that, or are you saying that they're taking some of the swag away?
It's okay. I like it.
Either way, speaking of swag, this is a dude that plays with a lot of it.
Well, and Aiden Childs, when we talked to the coach, he said when his footwork gets sloppy, that's when he gets into problems. So far, his footwork has been tight. Stepping up in the pocket, under balance, stepping into throws, and then you can see his arm talent. But it all starts with your feet. As a quarterback, accuracy in throwing the football always starts with your feet. And Aiden Childs tonight, his footwork has been consistently good.
They've been attacking John Nestor. He stays in there, matched up with the freshman Marsh. Fake the pitch to Carter on first down. Childs on target. Foster makes a man miss. Cuts it back just shy of midfield.
Well, there's another
in some trouble. Meanwhile, 15 minutes to play here in a 5-point ball game as Foster goes in motion. Childs will keep. We've already seen him use the legs a bunch. He is not really slick. He's been willing to take some of those hits, but does get this one into Iowa territory.
And again, just enough of these where he reads and pulls the football. If Iowa wants to close hard on the running back, you've got to do that. It's not for big yardage, but it definitely is effective. 8 yards, second and short. As far as throwing the football, Aiden Childs has hit his last 7 straight.
Lynch Adams, nice cut. Lynch Adams to the 35.
You just can't say enough about this offensive line. Watch the left tackle and their left guard. Watch these 2 blocks right here, and Lynch Adams is going to go right through the crease. They both get excellent blocks, and then a fake on the best tackler on this team, Jay Higgins, gets faked out. And there it is right there. Coming into the game, 316 yards, already nearing 400 with this Spartan offense.
Again, just not what you're accustomed to seeing, but a flag could be taking this backward. Looks like a false start.
False start. Offense number 82. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Brennan Parachek, the sophomore tight end.
Michigan State, 6 runs over 10 yards in the ball game. Again, this is a team that struggled to run the football their last 2 games, albeit against Ohio State and Oregon. But this is a very good run defense in Iowa, and they have just kind of had their way.
Iowa does not have a rush of 10+ yards. Childs looking to get away from Craig. He does get rid of it. Did they call him down? They did. It's going to be a sack for Deontay Craig.
Rolling on the field, quarterback was down. Second down.
And that is the first sack allowed since week 4 at BC for this offensive line.
They've gotten a lot of good plays out of the deep play action pass, and this time, ball still in his hands, knee down, good call, sack.
Despite giving up the sack there, we talked a lot about the rushing success they have had so far. Maybe they found the right combination up front. They've been tinkering with this lineup on the offensive line, and they made some pieces move ahead of this game. Second down and 22. Childs. Rifles, no, batted down. Jay Higgins. Right place, right time.
Yeah, this is the Iowa defense rising up. First they get the false start penalty, then they get the sack, and now they get the pass batted down by Higgins, and a little juice shown by this Iowa defense. Third and very long, facing Aiden Childs now.
Now, the good news for Michigan State is Kim does have the big leg. He missed from 55, but you're not that far away from his field goal range if you can keep this positive.
And you can also punt and hope you punt Iowa deep also.
3rd down and 22. Lynch Adams, can he get enough? And he's going to be close to that field goal range. He is tracked down by Llewellyn. 4th down, and now we'll see what Jonathan Smith elects to do.
Yeah, they're bringing Kim out.
They've got complete trust in this guy, already with 4 made field goals. He missed from 55 at the end of the first half. This one would also be a 55-yard attempt.
The wind is blowing at him a little bit going in this direction.
Can make it an 8-point game with under 12 to play. Kim's kick is up. Kim's kick is good. Ties a program record with his 5th made field goal and extends it back to an 8-point game. Operation Perfect. Kim nearly that. And he just sneaks it over the top to extend it back to 8.
Yeah.
He's good, including the other guys. Maybe his most underrated role. Bed Bath & Beyond and police captain. All right, under 12 to play. Iowa's going to get the football back. Kim is going to send it deep to Weeghman, who has had a couple of impressive returns. This time they will not. It's going to be the fair catch called for and made inside the 30 by Hayden Large. 11:52 to play. We'll see if Cade McNamara and company can keep it rolling.
You know, Steve Sarkisian knows quarterbacks, knows how to coach him, teach him. Sometimes you take a guy out and let him watch. You know, he maybe not playing as well as he's capable of. Let him watch from a different perspective, and then you go back to him. Cade McNamara sure looks like a different quarterback in the second half than he did in the first.
But Caleb Johnson looks like the same running back. The ball comes out, and the whistle blows. They called this down. It was picked up by Wayne Matthews III, poked out by Jordan Turner, but it'll be down by contact for Caleb Johnson right there.
Yeah, and Jordan Turner continues to press the line of scrimmage and attack. And he has been such a good leader for this defense. He's the first guy in here. Watch number 7 get through the line, get him around the ankle, trip him up, slow him up, and just not allowing the big back to get going.
Now behind the schedule, 2nd down and 13. McNamara unloads, picked off. Nakai Martinez still on his feet. Martinez finally caught up at the 30. It's a mistake from McNamara, and Michigan State in position.
I don't know who Cade was looking for. He had seam routes by the tight end and by the slot receiver. But the safety is in between the 2 receivers. And he throws the ball to the safety instead of either one of his guys. I don't know if he was expecting something different from Seth Anderson. But he floats it over the middle, and the only guy able to make a play on the ball is Martinez.
Second pick of the season for Martinez. 4th thrown by McNamara. Now 1st down from the Iowa 30. Childs sets it up. The screen. Velling. Not much room to work with. Will pick up 2.
See, this is how good Iowa's defense is. You think this screen is going to be a good play. They let the rush come in. Childs invited the rush. Did a nice job of waiting to the last minute. Getting it out to Velling. But watch how quickly Iowa rallies to the football. They read it, they close from inside out, they get off blocks, and what looked like could have been an 8 to 10 yard play is only good for 3. That's vintage Iowa defense right there.
Lynch Adams the back. Second down and 7, to the ground, to the outside. Lynch Adams stays on his feet long enough to shoot his way forward for the first down as we go to KT.
Well, you're seeing some new faces on this Iowa defense. Todd mentioned Zach Lutmer in at safety. Well, that's because Entringer, who came into this game for the injured Sebastian Castro, left the field in the third quarter, appeared to be in pain. He was holding his right hand, wrist, forearm area. He went into the locker room and is questionable to return in this game, guys.
And you just saw Castro on the sideline. You know how badly he wants to be out there. He came back, could have gone to the NFL after last season. He decided he wanted to play one more year as a Hawkeye and has been one of the biggest leaders on this team, start to finish, in street clothes.
Well, we got Lutmer and Nestor in at the same time.
Childs, end zone, incomplete, looking for Velling.
And this is Lutmer, who is in coverage on Velling. Again, Michigan State finding the newbies and going after them. Little double move by Velling, but Lutmer in excellent position to make a play. That's good coverage by Lutmer.
The freshman who they love on special teams. Redshirt freshman did play in one game last year. Has his high school record, total yards, rushing yards, points. Childs, stop and go. He just lost Schulte and picks up 3.
Again, none of these runs when he's pulled on the zone read have been for big yardage, but they've all been effective. They keep the defense honest. You see his elusiveness. Bill Parker talked about that. That was his biggest concern coming into the game, was how elusive he was in his ability to make people miss. Let's see if they try to find a matchup with Nick Marsh. I think he's in the slot right up here. Now he's the single receiver there on Nestor.
Childs looking the other way, throwing the other way. It's caught. It's Johnson with a flag down, makes a man miss to the end zone, and he's down at the 1.
I think this might be offensive pass interference, though. It's the same kind of concept, a mesh route with an inside breaking route.
Pass interference, offense, number 4, 15-yard penalty, 3rd down.
See, Glover's going to go and make contact with both defenders and not allowing anybody to get outside on Johnson. And that's an obvious call of offensive pass interference.
Terry Field's textbook, right?
Absolutely, no question. No attempt to avoid. It's the receiver's responsibility to avoid that. Absolutely a foul.
So it dooms what looked like to be a great pickup to the 1. Instead, it'll be 3rd and 22, and now it's a much longer field goal attempt, although Kim has been outstanding.
But and if you're Childs, you're thinking just get some of this yardage back and give ourselves a chance. And they choose to run. There's nothing wrong with that choice. Give Kim a better opportunity.
So Lynch Adams goes for 4. We'll go to the 28. This will be about a 46-yarder. We'll see exactly where they line up, and that is exactly it, 46 yards away. This would be a new program record for field goals made in a game. He is 5 of 6, with the only miss coming from 55, which he rectified on the last. This one from 46. It is up, and he is Kim-evitable. Another one for Jonathan Kim, his 6th of the day, and it all started with the interception.
Yeah, a bad throw by Cade McNamara, who had been very hot in the 3rd quarter. And that set up another opportunity for Michigan State, and 3 more points on the board, thanks to Kim.
It'll be the Jets' debut for Adams and the Steelers' official debut for Wilson. Ring the bell here at Spartan Stadium on homecoming, and they have gotten a show from their offense and specifically from their kicker, Jonathan Kim, with 6 field goals here today.
He has been solid. He's been solid all year. Just really has been a weapon today. Cade McNamara, who started this 3rd quarter much better than he had in the first half. Just one errant throw there that set up that 3 points.
And again, they avoid Weegan with a touchback here. Cade McNamara with another chance coming off of the mistake.
Yeah, in the first half, he just was not comfortable. And it may have been the pressure, took a couple hits, and you can see him kind of backing up as he throws. He's not stepping into his throws, and that affected his accuracy. We talked about Aiden Childs' feet, and then on this one, some kind of a miscommunication. He just threw it into a bad spot. You could see as soon as he let the ball go, his hands went up in the air. He knew it was a bad play about to happen. But now he's back on the field, and he's got to get it regrouped again. He was good to start the third quarter. That last throw was not good.
And still plenty of time in just a two-possession game. We saw they moved it in the third quarter. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. Let's see how they do it here. Johnson.
Look out.
Looking to break it. Caleb Johnson turning on the speed. 1 man to beat. Johnson is gone. Touchdown. 75 yards. And it was only a matter of time.
Logan Jones, the center, is going to pull out in front of this play. Again, these linebackers have been coming downhill. Watch these guys get so close to line of scrimmage that once he gets clear to the second level, there's nobody there. And there's nobody that's going to catch him when he gets to that spot. It's the first play that he's seen that kind of green grass with his shoulders facing north. And he takes it all the way to the house.
Go for 2 with Johnson on the side. It'll be Moulton in there back. Gill and Vanderzee stacked up at the bottom. McNamara dancing, firing, incomplete in the direction of Lachey. It'll stay at a 5-point game.
Yeah, he's looking for Lachey. I think he could have gotten Gill in the back of the end zone right here, but he's going to look for his main target, Lachey, in the front of the end zone. A lot of bodies in there. But this was the first daylight that Caleb Johnson has seen. The linebackers were selling out inside, and so once he got past that initial line, there was no defenders there to come close to stopping him. Good block by the center, Logan Jones. It's a 1-possession game again.
Yeah, he's rub your hands through your hair level good.
He is.
And that run actually put him over 1,000 for the season now. 98 yards on 14 carries. That one 75 to the house.
You know, and that play is just indicative of Kirk Ferentz and Iowa football and how they don't panic. They just keep doing what they do, right? And Caleb Johnson has had nowhere to run tonight. And he finally gets a breakaway, and he capitalizes, and it's a 5-point football game.
It's what Jonathan Smith is trying to mirror his program with, that mental toughness, that not rattled type of mentality. You know, Caleb Johnson has been taking care of business as a one-man band, coming in second in the country in rushing yards, responsible for 44% of the team's offense against an 8+ man box, a courtesy of PFF. 8.3 yards per carry and 308 total yards. And then this is really where he's taken that step. After contact, he's been more physical. He's been trying to run through tackles as opposed to outrunning the defenses that he's seen. And that one was just an example of both. He can be physical, but he still has that breakaway speed.
Yeah, he has been outstanding this season. And there's a big smile on his face because it has been tough sledding for him tonight.
So now again, time for the response for Aiden Childs with plenty of time in the pocket. Now collapses. On the run, complete. Foster, slippery, down the sideline, out of bounds, picks up 17.
Nice job again by Aiden Childs, and another positive first down play. Working on Nestor, a little double move, comes back to the football. Childs did a nice job extending the play. And again, that same thing for Aiden Childs now. He has played a beautiful game. They've had 9 offensive possessions, and 8 of them have ended with a kick. 1 with an interception. But he's got to stay the course and keep making good decisions with the football.
Good day for the 5th-year senior Montori Foster at 100 yards. Carter, bounce it. Carter extra couple at the end there with a flag down.
Yeah, thrown in the area where you expect holding also, which is going to set them back behind the sticks again.
Holding, offense number 65, 10-yard penalty, first down.
It's the left tackle.
Stanton Ramil, redshirt freshman.
You can see him grabbing Herkett, twisting him all the way around. That's a costly penalty. They had momentum, they had the pass play, they had a couple good runs, and now they find themselves in a danger zone. Way behind the sticks, and again, this is where the young quarterback has to be very, very smart and careful with the football.
Jonathan Smith said this Iowa defense slowly suffocates you. This would be the moment that they generally step up. It's Childs to the outside, and Lynch Adams gets away from the first, but not the second two. Gets sandwiched in between Higgins and Craig for a yard.
So we talked about at the beginning of the show, for Aiden Childs, he had to have the goal. Every possession needs to end with a kick. A field goal, an extra point, or a punt. They haven't had to punt, which is crazy. And they only had the one interception. That's the only possession that didn't end in a kick. And that is the recipe for a successful night for Aiden Childs and this Michigan State offense. But they got to continue to do it here in the last 5:44.
Foster in motion on second down and 19. Childs uncorks. Open Marsh, first down. Put it in the bucket for his freshman stud.
What a nice receive. Now watch, he's running that route. It's got to be between the safety and the corner. Perfect timing by Childs. Soon as Marsh comes out of the break, the ball's on its way. There's a little void between the corner and the safety, and Childs hits him in there with the football. Good eyes by Aiden Childs, good footwork, and an accurate throw for the first down.
Marsh and Foster combine 11 catches for 195 yards on the touchdown for Foster.
439 yards of total offense now for the Spartans.
And they go to the ground. Lynch Adams sheds the first, sheds the second, keeps it rolling. Lynch Adams with a little mini beachquake here at Spartan Stadium.
Well, they have done a nice job of mixing Nate Carter and K'Ron Lynch Adams and keeping them fresh here with under 5 minutes to play. And you see how tough he is to tackle, and this is an excellent tackling team. At the end of that, Jamari Harris is trying to rip the football out instead of making a tackle. That's some tough running.
85 yards for Lynch Adams. Now, right back to him, and he gets half a yard as Herkett comes in there along with Y.A. Black.
Right now, if you're Jonathan Smith, if you're Aiden Childs, the clock is your friend, right? You've got the 5-point lead. Use the clock. You don't want to lose your momentum on offense. You don't want to lose your sense of timing, but you want to work the clock the best you can. Stay in the huddle a little bit longer. Be methodical at the line of scrimmage, but still execute at a high level.
Childs, quick catch, it's Marsh. He bobbled it, brought it back in, and it'll set up 3rd and short. Get this under 3 minutes into this 3rd down.
Nice hands catch by Marsh. Had to reach back inside for it. He's been targeted 7 times. He has 7 catches, 102 yards.
Well, this was close to being an incompletion. It kind of hits the ground, but it does look like he kept it, and now they will take the time to go back and look at it.
The ruling on the field was a completed pass. Plays under further review. Timeout on the field.
We'll step aside here as they look at this catch from the freshman Nick Marsh. He bobbled it, brought it back in. Big call upcoming here in East Lansing. Play take us through, call stands.
Yeah, you got a couple things going on here, Noah. He gets the ball with 2 feet down, and he turns upfield, so he may have the ball long enough to form that kind of game. Then when he goes down, there is some ball movement. So even if he didn't, I don't think there's enough clear loss of control to reverse it. They went stands, which I agree was the correct decision on this one.
And it brings up a huge 3rd and 3.
Yeah, I think it's the play of the game right here for Iowa. They need a stop. Otherwise, they're going to have to start going into their timeouts. They have 3 of them left. They need to stop here and force a field goal. Keep it a 1-possession game. Got to be aware of Childs running the football here as well.
Pitch, Nate Carter blocking in front. Carter to the outside, he's got the first down. Schulte finally catches up, but it's Nate Carter, the captain, extending the drive.
Yeah, really nice job here. They got a bunch formation here. 3 blockers, 2 tight ends and a wide receiver. They pull the tackle out, and they get the edge secure. And 1 broken tackle. Nate Carter breaks the tackle of Jamari Harris, number 27. And that's all he needed to get the first down.
So here you are now, fresh set of downs. Look at the rushing numbers today for Michigan State. You've got the 2-minute timeout if you're Iowa. You've got all 3 of your timeouts, but you cannot allow a final first down, and a touchdown really makes it difficult.
Yeah.
Take this down all the way to the end of the play clock and throw it to the outside. It's caught. It's Marsh. Oh, what a move! Touchdown! The fantastic freshman delivers. Let's take a look if he truly got in before the knee went down. What a series of moves by Marsh, but he's clearly down short. It should be 1st and goal.
But what a play and heads-up play by Aiden Childs.
After a replay review, the runner was down at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal.
This was a check at the line of scrimmage. Childs saw the single coverage, and he saw everybody inside and audibled to throw it to his number 1 target. Tremendous effort at the end, but the ball definitely short of the goal line.
So now here you are, 1st and goal. Michigan State can punch it in, extend this to 2 possessions. Iowa, at minimum, is going to have to start using some timeouts, and Kirk Ferentz looks like he's going to elect to use his first to...
Before the 2-minute timeout.
Exactly.
Watch Aiden Childs at the line of scrimmage. Now he sees everybody inside and one-on-one out here with his main guy. Checks at the line of scrimmage, throw it out there, and he's just got to make 1 guy miss, and that's Nestor. Actually makes 2 guys miss. He loses the tackle of Wampa as well. But great awareness by the quarterback, the young quarterback. He's seeing the field, he's feeling the game. He makes a check at the line of scrimmage, and they get the ball around the 1-yard line.
You know, Todd, it was interesting when we asked Kirk Ferentz about the focus this week after their most complete game last week. He said, trying to assess the maturity of this football team, trying to see where we can still keep getting better, because he felt there was still a lot of room for continued improvement. And these are the types of situations here. You need the stop. This defense just quite hasn't lived up to what the standard they set for themselves has been. And without Sebastian Castro today, they've had to play a number of defensive backs, and Michigan State has taken advantage now with a 1st and goal with 2:09 to play. Carter the back, Coyne the fullback. Carter bulldozes. Touchdown. The Spartans cash in and extend the lead.
This is power football. They crash down here. They take Newman, the backside guard, and lead him through. Plus, you've got the fullback. Power, blue-collar football, and Nate Carter gets it in the end zone. And the running game and the offensive line play by the Michigan State Spartans tonight has been stellar. A total reversal of what it was the last few games that they played. Adjustments at the bye week, fresh bodies, and a much different result.
Flag down on the extra point. Carter gets into the end zone for just the second time this season, 9th of his career. And one thing Jonathan Smith said, we have to be comfortable, as there was no flag now picked up, we have to be comfortable between 8 to 12 play drives, and that one goes 9 plays, 75 yards for the score. As we check in with Jordan Cornette.
No, it's getting good in Austin. Dogs lead 23-8 late third. Here comes Hookham. Quinn Ewers to Jaden Blue for the 17-yard touchdown. Horse Trail 23-15 at this point.
#1 team in the country starting to make a little bit of a push in that second half. Heard it with Sims and MT at halftime, that Texas-Georgia back and forth, but could be a little bit of a comeback situation. All right, so you've got 2:03 left, you've got 2 timeouts, and the 2-minute timeout coming up here for Iowa. We saw the explosive play with Caleb Johnson, but the pass plays that came in the third quarter have been hard to come by here in the fourth.
Yeah, and Michigan State, as aggressive as Joe Rossi's defense has been for most of this game, they've got to play a little softer, a little safer, try to keep everything in front. They can't just sell out for the run. They got to play softer zone defense and force Iowa to throw the football and take short gains, because the clock is their best weapon right now.
And they are trying to avoid Legion any way they possibly can. Max White's going to take this one and get leveled right at the 2-minute timeout. White gets chopped by Coyne. 2 minutes to play. The Spartans coming off their bye, looking to put an end to a 3-game losing streak. Their offense has come alive. Their defense has been outstanding. And the Spartans in position for the victory here on Homecoming. State goes to Madison, battles with Wisconsin. Coverage begins 7 p.m. Eastern on NBC and Peacock. 2 minutes to play for this Iowa offense, and they get it to the underpass Johnson for 15 yards.
Yeah, good first play on this drive. I mean, they've got to move quick. They've got to score twice. Good guy to get the ball to in space. Hasn't had a lot of space to run all night.
McNamara right back to Johnson. Sandwiched in between 2 and another first down. Will pause the clock. Gains 11. Got to be strategic with the 2 timeouts here. You need the 2 scores.
Johnson kind of grabbing his leg going off the field at the end of that play.
He's been effective in the passing game. In fact, their leading receiver, 4 catches, 49 yards. Got to allow for the substitution on the opposite side. So the time ticks off now, under 90 seconds to play. McNamara, deep drop. McNamara steps up. McNamara's going to run it himself, and he will get out of bounds.
Now that sequence took a lot of time, though. You know, they had to wait for the subs because Caleb Johnson took himself out of the game. So as soon as that happened, and Iowa sub, the officials had to allow Michigan State to sub, and they took their time doing that. And then McNamara ends up holding and finally scrambling. And now there's 1:18 left in the ball game.
But Johnson is back on the field. McNamara at 142 yards, the touchdown and the pick. Back to the air. McNamara rifles middle, incomplete, looking for Seth Anderson.
Yeah, he had him too. Work in the middle of the field, kind of a 2-deep shell by Michigan State. Seth Anderson gets by his guy and just not able to come up with the throw. Throw a little bit wide of Anderson, but that would have been a big chunk play down the middle of the defense.
Cade knew it. 3rd and 4. Turner bringing some pressure. McNamara, first down. Dayton Howard, who caught his first pass and touchdown simultaneous last week. Clock will start at the snap here when they get up to the line before the snap. And now here we go. Ticking towards a minute to play. McNamara, sideline, overshot, Bowie.
Well, the only good thing about that play, the clock stops now. Lots of substitutions for Iowa personnel-wise. Michigan State subbing as well. Got a chance to huddle up and get the right play called here instead of doing it all at the line of scrimmage.
Now Max White, junior running back, is going to be in there with Johnson on the side. Who can step up? Who can win right now for Iowa? Vanderzee caught the touchdown in the third quarter. 2nd and 10.
Three-man rush, dropping 8, making the throw underneath.
White was not in the right spot. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Iowa sitting at 283 total yards of offense. Really a masterful job by both the Michigan State offense, offensive line, and the Michigan State defense.
Iowa was 0 for 5 on 3rd down in the first half. They're 5 for 5 here in the second half. This one 3rd and 10. McNamara on courts, incomplete. He threw it up for Anderson. The immediate contact came from Angelo Gross, and it's 4th down.
That time Michigan State brought a little pressure. Ended up in some man coverage. Angelo Gross on Anderson. It was a high throw. And Anderson not able to come down with the football. Ball really kind of sailed on McNamara. And here it is, 4th down.
Timeout, Michigan State.
Charge timeout, Michigan State. They're first. A 37 timeout.
So the Spartans trying to close the book here. Childs just basking in the type of day that he had. 22 of 30, 256 yards, a touchdown, the 1 interception. He also had 63 yards rushing in this game. But here you go, your final gasp for Iowa with 47 seconds left. And Cade McNamara, this is where all the seasoned and experience, it's got to come into play in this play.
Yeah, it does, and he's going to have to get somebody that gets beyond the first down marker and finds a hole in the zone, because I would be very surprised if Michigan State doesn't play zone here, try to keep everything in front and tackle. So they got to get beyond the 25-yard line and find an opening in the defense.
Caleb Johnson back in there. Terrell Washington Jr., who had 6 catches against Washington, is also in there. 4th in the ball game for the Hawkeyes. Malik Spencer deep back there. McNamara sideline open. Oh, it's caught and a flag. Jacob Gill makes it 1st and goal. Now we see which direction this flag's going.
There's a hat off too. Let's see what we got here.
Ron Snodgrass will deliver the news.
Illegal touching. Offense, number 5 went out of bounds and was the first to touch the ball. Lost it down at the previous spot. 1st down, Michigan State.
That's a great call.
Yeah. When I saw the hat off the official, that's normally what they do when they see a receiver go out of bounds. And he clearly ran out of bounds on his own and came back in. There it is right there, the right foot clearly on the line. And just a mistake by Gill not knowing where he was on the field, because he was open and McNamara put the ball on him. But no good because of the penalty.
It'll seal it for the Spartans. They'll take one final knee here.
481 yards. They'll probably go to 480 now with that knee. But what an offensive performance by the Spartans. Their offensive line, Aiden Childs grew up a lot tonight.
In front of their homecoming crowd, and coming off the bye, Michigan State snaps a 3-game losing streak. 32-20, the final over Iowa. Let's send it down to Catherine Tappan.
Coach, fresh off the bye week, you guys came out with a great opening drive in this game. How did that set the tone for the rest of the night?
Yeah, I thought offensively, the efficiency there, you gain some confidence and you move the ball against a good defense like that. And really, we did it throughout the night. We just got to be able to finish a few times. But overall, really well-rounded game. You talk about our kicker being lights out, Jonathan Kim, defensively, first half shutout, and bowed up when we need it. Really happened for the guys.
And what did you learn about the maturity as he continues to evolve? Aiden Childs against this stingy Iowa defense.
Yeah, I think he's continuing to grow. We've had some really good reps today. You know, again, good defense and all that, but with his feet, with his arms, with his decisions throughout the night, gave us a great chance to win.
And you mentioned your kicker, Jonathan Kim. I mean, what can you say about this performance this evening, setting a program record with 7 made field goals?
Yeah, we got a ton of confidence in him, obviously, because the way he does it, he works really hard at it. And he's got confidence in the guys around him. Protection, that snapper, the holder, the whole thing. It was huge tonight.
Coach, thanks so much. Congratulations on the win.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, KT, Jonathan Smith with a big victory here in year 1 and sets his team up now for the rest of the season. It was looking bleak at one point going into the bye week, and now it's a completely different energy surrounding this Spartan team. He mentioned the development and maturity of his 19-year-old quarterback who's standing by with KT.
Aiden, congratulations. A huge victory on homecoming nonetheless. What will you remember most about this victory tonight with your teammates?
Everything. I mean, we all came out and played. So I wish we could have done a little bit better scoring-wise, but overall, came out and played our hearts out, competed for all 4 quarters. I love this team, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Along those lines, you had some opportunities in the first half, but you came out in the second. You delivered a huge touchdown to Montori Foster. So what adjustments did you make there at halftime?
Kept playing football how we knew how to play football. We competed for 4 quarters, like I said before, and, you know, it was just came out, and it was clicking. So, I mean, we came out, kept playing, and it ended up working out for the better.
What is it like for you when you get the ball close and you know you have a kicker like Jonathan Kim who can deliver the way he did tonight?
It's easy, man. I mean, every time we get past 50, I know we got points. So I'm grateful for him, and he's balling. So we're gonna keep doing what we do, and he's gonna keep doing what he do.
And finally, Aiden, the defense outstanding. And when you have an interception like you did, but they come right back and negate it, what does that do for your confidence?
I mean, my confidence never dropped after the pick, but it helps. You know, it helps having a great defense out there, and they come in and have my back. It's beautiful. It's great having the defense coming out, especially, you know, this man right here. Look at him. There you go. But, yeah, I mean, it's just great having a defense that has your back at all times, and you can trust, and they can trust me to go out there and get their back as well.
Aiden, congratulations on the win. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
கொன்னுட்டான் லியோ லியோ வராரு 2 தரல செத்தான்